For this record, you got Frank Fonseer back on drums.
Yep, sure did.
Would you like to tell us about that?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, Frank played on all the albums. I mean, he played on All the Remains in 2005, which was the last record we put out before Chasing the Grail. But Frank left the band, I guess it was in September of 2005 during that touring cycle for that album. And, you know, it all boiled down to we had spent so much time in planes and buses and vans. We just got to the point where we just needed a break. I mean, Frank played in Stuck Mojo for 15 years. He also played on my solo record, The Duke. Frank and I are best friends, and we got to this point where, you know, our friendship had suffered, and he wasn't happy. The music business is, you know, it's the greatest and the worst gig of all times because it is somewhat like being on a baseball team that you can be the best first baseman on the planet, but if the rest of the team is not working hard, you'll lose every game, and that's sometimes what it's like to be in a band, in that you can really work hard and go out there and huff at 300 shows a year and make albums that you think are great and commit every blood, sweat, and tear to your craft. But if the record companies fail, or if the management don't do a good job, or your agents let you down, then it's all pretty much for nothing, because you can eat, and especially today, with music trends and cycles that move so fast, it can just be disheartening, and it can really break your heart and break your soul and your spirit. And I think that's what happened to Frank there at that period of time. He was just had enough of it, and he just wanted to go home and sit back and play drums for fun, in Atlanta, as opposed to slugging it out and seeing, agents and record companies get wealthy, and then us sit out there on the road and come back with a pocket full of lint, And so for all of that stuff, I think we just needed some time apart, and we just like all good friends do, we came back together and said, let's make the best metal record ever, and and we it's like getting back on the tandem bike with your best friend again. It's awesome.
So do you guys have any future plans for a U.S. tour in support of the new album?
Yeah, we're going to be doing a bunch of shows. We can never really quite call it a tour with Fozzy because of Chris's availability, because of his WWE schedule. I know we'll do a bunch of shows, but it'll probably be 2 shows here, 3 shows there, and kind of having them spread out depending on Chris's schedule, because he normally works with wrestling 4 days a week. And then sometimes he'll do 2 weeks straight with some type of overseas tour, whether they go to the Far East or Europe. But he's able to take some time off here and there, and I know that in May we're going to Europe. We've got U.S. dates being booked now for April, and a few spot dates in June and July. So I would say that probably by late spring and early summer you'll see us quite busy, which is exciting. We're really looking forward to it.
Do you have any favorite song on Chasing the Grail at all?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the big, heavy, sludgy riff. So I love Martyr No More, and I love the riff in the song Grail itself. I also love the speed and aggressiveness of Friday the 13th and Under Blackened Skies. The record is a real kind of a roller coaster ride, because it's got so much there. You've got these kind of 70s Southern rock vibey songs like Broken Soul, and then you've got these kind of European proggy nature of songs, kind of New Day's Dawn, and this album has a lot of stuff without seeming scattered and kind of all over the map. It feels like a Fozzy record, but we do cover a lot of emotions and a lot of different kind of feelings and aggressiveness.
Right, I definitely got that vibe from it. Pretty much, no two songs on that album, sound the same. It's always something different, which makes for just a really great and fresh CD.
Thanks, man. I think some of that comes from the fact that when you're writing an album over several month period of time, you have a chance to kind of convey different emotional aspects of the writers, as opposed to if you sit down and try to write an entire album in 3 or 4 weeks. A lot of times you'll end up with some sameness on the record, and because, let's face it, we as people kind of experience a wide range of emotional turbulence, ups and downs. But over a longer period of time, you obviously you experience a lot more variation in kind of experiences and struggles and triumphs. So it's kind of interesting to have an opportunity to write over a longer period of time to kind of have more, ammunition and material to work from.
Definitely awesome. I just have one more question for you, and is there anything that you would like to say to any of the Fozzy fans out there?
Yeah, just, thank you so much for your years of continued love and support, and, it's an honor to be able to wake up every day and say, wow, I'm a guitar player. I'm a professional guitar player that makes a living and pays my mortgage by making records and touring, and it's only because of the support of the fans that I'm able to do that. So I'm just so appreciative and humbled by that support, and thanks for allowing me to live my dream and be able to play music for a living. It's the most amazing experience in the world. So here's to you. Thank you so much.